What's shaking, guys? My name is Luke Dancy, and welcome to another Murphy's Live experience. We are excited today. This is not your usual hangout. This is going to be some hangout fun, but we're going to do it with a twist. Today, I am joined by a very special guest, literally on the other side of the world. This man is coming in all the way from Argentina. I'm talking about the creator of the Smart Smoke Watch, the Vision Box, and a lot of other crazy stuff you're going to be seeing right here at Murphy's. I'm talking about Mr. João Miranda. João, how the heck are you, man?
Hello, thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Luke. I'm from Portugal, just to say, not from Argentina, but
sorry,
it's fine. Yes, thank you very much for having me. Thank you. It's
a
pleasure.
No, dude, it's a pleasure to have you here, and we are so excited to have you here, and we're also excited to have all of our live friends out there. I know you guys are watching. We have our friends. They are on Facebook. You guys are on Facebook right now, and you are also over on YouTube. And you're over on Twitter. You guys are literally all over the place, and we love you. And this is your chance to ask your questions in real time for João Miranda, the creator of those things I just told you about. And what we're going to do in just a second is I'm going to run the trailer for one of those in particular. We'll run the trailer for the Smart Smoke Watch, and then we will actually come back. We'll talk a little bit about that and some of the history with João as well, as far as the different things that he's created and where he comes from in the magic world, because some people, you might be a new face, and so we want to make sure that they know who you are and all that good stuff. So guys, we are going to jump into the Smart Smoke Watch trailer first, and then we're going to come back and you can ask all the questions you want for the man that is João Miranda. We'll be right back.
With this watch there are no tubes, and it allows to a complete freedom, and it's very comfortable, that the magician completely forgets that he wears it while performing, which is very nice. Also, because it's a watch, the spectators have no clue to the place where the smoke comes from, since everyone wears a watch, of course, and nobody guesses that the magician has a watch that sends smoke to the palm of the magician. So it's very cool. The smoke watch was very hard to make. It not only has custom-made parts specially made for the watch to work, but the engineers worked very hard to make it work, because the technology to make the smoke watch didn't exist. So we had to create a brand new technology. My intention by creating this smartwatch version is really to push the boundaries really high. So I think that magic should be innovative in a way that magicians and also lay people are not expecting. Because producing smoke with nothing in our hands, with short sleeves, nothing to see, this is, in my opinion, real magic.
All right, my friends, there we are. You just saw the trailer for the Smart Smoke Watch by the man right next to me here, Mr. João Miranda, and we have some questions coming in already. And you guys, we're not just going to be talking about the Smart Smoke Watch. We also have the Vision Box. But if you have questions for João at all about anything, get those in now. I see my friends out here on YouTube. I see you guys out there on Facebook. Our first question comes in from Mr. Aaron Payne, and he wants to know, João, how many puffs will one fill last? So when you fill up the watch one time, can you tell the guys out there, in particular Mr. Aaron Payne, how many puffs can you get out of one fill?
Yes, sure. It's a great question. Actually, with only just a little bit of liquid, that is more than enough for 4 or 5 smoke productions, which is very nice. Anyways, just refilling the watch is very easy. Only takes literally 1 second. It's very, very easy. Yeah.
All right, cool. Good question, Aaron Payne. And he also wanted to ask a question. How loud is the device? Is there some noise involved? And if so, can you give us an idea of what kind of noise there might be with the watch?
Yes, there is a very, very small noise. So it's not recommended if you perform, let's say, in a quiet room for your family. Okay, so if you normally, when you work, you have people around talking, of course, people are not quiet. And that type of background noise is more than enough to cover any noise from the watch. I always do the watch in my paid gigs, of course, and I never had even one person telling me about the noise of the watch. So that's the only thing. So if you want to do it for 2 people, if you are 2 people or 3 in a quiet room with the windows closed, perhaps they'll reel it. Yes, I think they will. But in a normal environment, when performing, no one will hear absolutely anything.
Perfect. All right. Well, that is a not only a great answer, but also a great question. And that was a very good question from one of our Facebook friends right about now. Sean Padri, we'll just say Padri or Padra, he's asking, how did you come up with your concepts for your effects? Because, João, the one thing I really like about you is you have this variety of stuff that you tend to come out with and that you're working with. And can you give us an idea when it comes to that process for you? How do you come up with these things that you are sharing with the magic community?
Yes, it's a little bit hard to explain, but basically most of my ideas, the ideas that I place in the products that I actually sell, are because I have some kind of necessity. I'll give you one example. I always love to enhance a magical effect with smoke. I think it's a very, very magical moment. And even though people really liked it, the smoke, the thing is that I always add my sleeves. I'll use sleeves. And I thought that if I could have my sleeves rolled up, the magical moment will be totally different because people see smoke and for them will be much more magical because they will not think that the smoke came out from the sleeve. So basically I think of how to make things a little bit better, but by performing, basically, because I'm a professional magician and I really perform a lot, almost every weekend here in Portugal and across Europe. So basically comes out of necessity. That's the idea. The same thing with Vision Box and all of the things, yes.
Perfect. All right. And I want to just make sure I get his name right. It was Sean Padrick. He just told me this in real time. I wasn't pronouncing his name right. So Sean Padrick, I'm sorry, but hope that answered your question, Sean, that João just gave you about the creative process with his magic. You also touched on something there when it came to you being a performer. And that's one thing that I think a lot of people should hear. Is that there are different people in the magic community. Some are just creators, others are performers, and others tend to do both, which you just mentioned that you do. Can you give me a little bit of background on your experience kind of in magic and your performing in general? Like, are you a close-up worker? Do you do stand-up, stage? Like, let's get a little background on you while we're at it.
Yeah, sure. Basically, I'm now 30. I'm a performer since I am 9 or 10. So I perform magic for about 20 years per year in Portugal, and I started to be a professional when I was 17. Okay, doing really a lot of shows, and so I'm really basically a magician. Those things that I do create, it's because of my own work. I can see what I can come up with, resulting of the reactions that I have from the audience, or the things that I see that people really would like to see. Regarding my work, specifically here in Portugal, I wrote 2 best-selling books with the biggest editor here in Portugal, which is very nice. I also had a TV special with one of the channels here in Portugal, and I have performed for several companies. Most of my work, it's corporate. Okay, so that's the whole thing about. I do some kind of weddings, but most of my work it's corporate. And now I invent a lot of magic because I really love to invent new things. That's how things should evolve, in my opinion. Not magic, but every single art form, in my opinion.
Cool. Can you, since you just mentioned that performer and creator, and you really like creating magic, this is a question from me. What's the first thing, whether it's something that's on the market or just something that you use for yourself, can you tell me what the first thing was that you did create?
Yes, I created my first effect that was marked. It was a long time ago. It was called Smile Rise. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it was a kind of cardiographic style routine with a big pad and some smiles. I think if you search on Google, perhaps you'll find me very, very young doing that kind of trick. But that's it. It was Smile Rise a long time ago. Yes.
All right, can you, like, how long ago are you talking?
I was about 16
Oh
when
my
I invented the
gosh.
trick. Yes. So it was 14 years ago. 14, about 14.
Wow, that's cool. That's a long time ago, huh?
Yes, that's right. I'm getting old.
No, you're not. I also want to give a few shout outs to some of our friends over on YouTube. I want to make sure that they know we're out there too. I see Cody the Penguin. I see Marton. How we doing out there, Marton? Rohit, I see you out there. Rohit has a question. This could go hand in hand with you talking about performing. It sounds like he's a teenager. Do you have any advice for someone that wants to start making money or being a performer at a younger age? And I know that's not talking about your product, but you are a performer. So can you give us any tips on trying to get out and make some money with magic or being a performer at a younger age? Because you also talked about being younger too. So
Yes, of course. I think the most important thing, first of all, it's to start by doing when you are young. I think that the best thing is to shows for your family, okay? Because they are that kind of audience that won't kill you if you do something wrong, if you know what I'm talking about. So the first thing is do a lot of shows for your friends, for your family, so you really know your stuff before starting to send emails to go, for example, to some conventions, wedding conventions, for example. You can have perhaps a booth there. You can call a kind of company that, for example, works with music and all of that kind of events regarding weddings or corporate. And why not sending them an email with your small clip of you performing some magic, and start really, really slow. That's the most important thing. But first of all, you must really love magic, because if you perform magic just for the money, the things won't turn out so well for you. You must be really passionate about what you do. I think that's the most important thing, and I think that with time, work will appear very, very easily. In my opinion.
Very good advice. No, I like that. Comes from the heart. I like that a lot.
Yes.
Good stuff. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Very much appreciate that. Our next question comes back to a question about the watch, the Smart Smoke watch. This comes from Brad Hart over on Facebook. He's asking, or he's saying something first, which is I want to give the compliments when they come in. He says it's a beautiful device and an incredible idea, which I'd have to agree with that. It's one of those things, yeah, when I saw it, I went, why didn't I think of that? So
thank you very much.
Good stuff. His question is for you, though. What is your favorite effect to perform with smoke, whether it's with the watch or I guess just in general, but let's just say with the watch itself. What do you think your favorite effect to perform is with the smoke watch?
Yes, professionally, I use more the smoke for the Phantom deck from Joshua J, which is the crystal deck of cards, where the deck of cards transforms into plastic cards, which are transparent. So I place the deck in the spectator's hand, then I produce the smoke, and then the whole deck transformed magically into those plastic cards, okay? But I also have a great effect, which is very nice. I go to my phone, and I show a video of a candle that is lit, and I turn my phone, I blow, they see the smoke, and then I show that the candle is out. Okay, this is a very quick flash trick that I really love, and the audience really loves with the watch. But basically, I use for those two tricks. Basically, yes, it enhances a lot all the magic, in my opinion.
Very cool. Very cool. I like that. It's two different things too. You've got one with the deck of cards transforming, the other one with the. I have seen. I think in the trailer you do have the candle that you blow out and have.
I do. Yes.
Yeah. Looks really, really nice. Very good idea.
Thank you.
Another question about the watch, more on the technical side, because this is important too, because it is such a very well-made device. How long did it take you to design the watch's inner workings? And this comes from my buddy Aaron on Facebook. That's a good question because I know that you had to design this from scratch. So,
yes. It was about 6 months, more or less, yes, from the zero. And we were actually at the point where we thought that it will not be possible. Because I work with a team of 4 people. One of them is an electrical engineer, Tiago Marques, is a very, very nice person regarding electronics. And we were starting working on that. And it was really, really, really difficult to make the trick. But after several months, we finally managed, especially because what expels the smoke, it's a very, very small fan. Okay, it's about 4 millimeters wide, and that was the most difficult part for us to make. Once we got it, the rest was not that difficult.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, thank you for answering that. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
We had a friend here on YouTube, Tiago Guerra. He says he's from Portugal as well. He says, João Miranda, great magician. I'd have to agree with that. So you're getting a little love out there, my friend. All right. This is a very common question. This comes from the Magic V over on YouTube as well. And I'm glad this is asked because it's something that I see it as a non-issue. I don't see this as an issue at all. But people ask, is this a smart watch? Because they see the trailer, they see the watch. It looks like your everyday smartwatch now, but does it function? And I know the answer to this, but does it function as a watch? And if it does or does not, I know the answer. Can you kind of shed some light on why that doesn't really matter at the end of the day?
Yes, of course, sure, of course. So basically, the Smart Smoke watch, it is a smoke device disguised of a watch, okay? So the electronics fit all the space inside of the watch. So it will be impossible for it to work as a normal watch. We could actually do it, but it will be like this thick, okay? So probably it will look like a clown watch. So it will be extremely thick, and people will, of course, will raise suspicion about it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because this was a product made for professionals. And when you are performing, people are not looking at your watch. If they do, it's because you're not that a good magician after all. You know what I mean? So when you are showing a card trick, no one will stop. Oh, can you please tell me the time? Even if they do so, you can easily say, oh, I'm out of battery, and you remove your phone, and you can tell them the time, if that's the case. But at the end of the day, it does not really matter, in my opinion, of course. That's only my opinion.
All right, cool.
Did I answer the question?
Yeah, and I agree. I think sometimes we think, and this is my personal opinion, I think sometimes we overthink as magicians, because most people, they'll see a watch or a phone and they just know what it is. The same way that people will look at a card box and they'll think, okay, well, that's just a regular deck of cards. Like, unless we tell them this is a normal deck of cards, why would they think it's not? So I think the same with a watch or whatever. People don't have their watches on all the time. So I think it's a non-issue. But, you know, we're sometimes we reach a little bit. And I think we have to turn off that magician switch sometimes.
I think the same.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
Duncan Bannon saying, what about Vision Box? Duncan, we're going to get to the Vision Box in just a couple minutes, and we'll talk about both as we close up this interview in a little bit. But Roger says, do we have a little presentation for the watch? I'd like to see it in action. Roger, we showed the trailer earlier. I'm going to show it again as João's talking here in just a couple minutes. This is something from Miguel Brito on YouTube. Do you know if any of your creations are going to be used as a FISM routine? Greetings from Portugal. So it sounds like you have another fan from Portugal. Do you know if any magicians out there are going to be using your stuff, I guess, in FISM as a competition act or something like that?
Actually, I don't know. I know that Matt Franco is using my watch in his current Las Vegas show. I know that he's using, and other magicians. But regarding competition exactly, I really don't know. A lot of people have bought my watch. A lot of professional magicians use it around the world. But regarding a FISM competition, I really don't know.
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's that was a good question too, from our friend over on YouTube. That was from Miguel once again. I also want to give a few more shout outs here. T Magia, I see you out there. Thomas Legg, I see you out there. Harold, I saw you out there too. Marton, always good to see you, Marton. Miguel says I was his student, so it sounds like Miguel might know some of those people over in Portugal too. Sean Patrick. Yes, we think like a magician and not as a performer sometimes, yes. So you guys keep those questions coming for the Smart Smoke Watch. We'll get a few more shout-outs here over on Facebook. I see Aaron Payne, Jason Wellington just popped in, Lazarus Benson, and Robbie Moreland's here as well. You guys are awesome, and we have a lot of good questions. You know, let's go ahead and jump into the Vision Box trailer right now.
Sure.
And then we can talk about both. We can talk a little bit about the Vision Box, and then we can get everything together as well. So you guys check this out. This is such a step forward. I just want to say this openly. I've used the mystery box, João, for years, the John Kennedy box for years.
Yes.
What you've done is you've taken that and you've just, the evolution of it to what it is now, in a lot of different ways makes it so much better. And as a performer myself, I appreciate what you've done. And we're going to give you guys all the details, exactly what these benefits are over all the other things on the market. So if you haven't seen this yet, this is the Vision Box. And João, I just want to say, man, I like the Smart Smoke Watch. I really like the effects you can do. But for me, like when I saw the Vision Box, I just had this reaction like, oh my God, because the switch... You would never know it as a spectator that something's just been switched. You guys need to watch this. So check this out. This is the Vision Box from Mr. João Miranda. We'll be right back to talk more about it and answer your questions live.
Vision Box allows you to perform the cleanest switch of a bill or playing card right under the nose of the spectators. If the magician needs to remove a folded playing card from the inside of a box, the usual way will be to remove it with only 2 fingers, and that is precisely what Vision Box allows you to perform.
All right, guys, you just saw it right there, the Vision Box. It is a switch that doesn't look like a switch. That stuff is totally invisible, and I was blown away the first time I saw it. Love it, love it, love it. And I want to answer some of your questions about it, and I also ask some of the questions you guys have and have them answered here, but I also want to talk to João about some of the advantages. But first, let's answer one of the questions here from our Facebook friends. This one comes in from Aaron again. Can the card design be changed for the Vision Box? So the card that they see in the box folded up, can it be different back designs? And that's a very common question, but it's a very good question too. So let's get that out.
Yes, of course. Yes, absolutely. It's very, very easy to change the gimmick. You can do it with any kind of playing cards, billets, any bills, anything at all, basically. So yes.
Okay. And that's, I'm assuming, a very easy thing to do as well, right?
Yes, you can change it in like 10 seconds, ready to use, yes.
All right, cool. All right, Aaron. Well, I hope that helps you out over there, Mr. Aaron. Very good question. One of the things I want to say to you guys that I think is very important, a big advantage for me, and I'll let you take this over, the fact that you can put the thing in the box, out in the open, and then set the box down, do your routine, and have the card come out the end. Could you expand on that and tell the guys exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to the placement of the card in the box from the very beginning?
Yes, I think that is a very, very good detail that you can do with this Vision Box, because with several previous versions, you show a box and you show a card inside, and you tell to the audience, oh, here is a card inside. And some people might think, okay, there is a card, perhaps there is, perhaps there isn't, why can I see the card? So with Vision Box, you can clearly show the piece, and you can clearly place it inside of the box. And this is very, very strong, in my opinion. And it is also particularly good for parlor situations, because if you have some distance from the audience, and you can really enhance the magical effect, which is very nice. You can show the box, you can show the card, place it inside, place the lid, and that's it. You are clean and ready to go. So I think that is a very, very good advantage, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, the fact that you can place that in there, and from a routine point of view too. The fact that you're able to do this from the beginning, isolate the card, put it in there, have it, and the fact that the box is clear, they can see it throughout the whole routine too, which I know is a very nice advantage as well. So that is something I'm a big fan of. And all the other ones, they work, but I think that if you're a worker, that's a very important detail. And
Yes.
yeah, I love that one a lot. So let's get you any other angles. So Duncan Bannon over on YouTube asked about the angles. Can you give us some ideas when it comes to the angles for the Vision Box, please?
Yes, the angles are very nice. In fact, the piece that is inside the back part is actually black. Okay, so basically you cannot have like a children looking from really low. That's the only thing. But you can actually perform this while standing if you place the box in the spectator's hands. And if you work at the table, when you place the box at the table, you must place it at the edge of the table. So no one will go actually bend all over to look better inside of the box, okay? So the angles are really, really good.
All right, very good. Thank you for that, my friend. I appreciate the info on that. Mr. Luis D'Amatos is live with us on our Facebook page right now. First, I want to say, Luis, it's a pleasure to have you here. And he's saying congratulations, João, on the beautiful creation that you have there is the Vision Box.
Thank you, Luis. Thank you very much, Luis.
Wow, I'm a little starstruck right now. That's pretty cool stuff, man. Wow, right here on the Facebook page. Awesome stuff. All right, cool. Another question that comes in, this one we're going to back up and go back to the watch real quick, but these are in real time, so I want to make sure that we don't miss anyone. Lazarus,
yes,
my buddy Lazarus Benson's asking, how durable is the watch, the smart smoke watch that you have? How durable is it?
Yes, actually, it is made from steel. Okay, even though it is very, very light, every single part is made of steel. Okay, very light steel. So since it's not made of plastic, you can actually let it fall and won't be any problem at all. You just need to be a little bit more careful with the small thing that goes here into the wrist and expels the smoke. Okay, you should of course not bang it to a table. I'm sure you won't do that. But so basically, it will last you a lifetime. Honestly, a lifetime, really. No parts to break or yes.
Okay, all right, good stuff, man. Yeah, I mean, with something like that you had so much attention go into, it's no surprise that it's durable and it's built to last. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't have something like that with all the components built and all this stuff from scratch. You wouldn't just have it be something that could just fall apart easy. I mean, that's a given.
No,
but
it doesn't.
It's a really good question because I don't look at the Smart Smoke Watch as an expensive item. I look at it as an investment. It's an investment that can help make your magic better, take it up a notch. I can't think of a better way to add a magic moment to your magic than some smoke. People know that. They kind of, they associate that with magic and magicians. And so what a better way to do it than with smoke and a device.
Yes. And it's very comfortable that you forget that you wear the watch. With other systems, you have a cable going throughout your sleeve and then another cable into your back. And when I used those systems, I was like, I can't remove my coat. I can't sit on the chair, just to produce smoke. So the watch is really on the go. You place it in 10 seconds and you are ready to go. It's really comfortable.
Awesome, man. All right, cool.
Yeah.
There is one thing I want to say that people have been saying, whether it's today or just in general, and that's people saying stuff about they see that there's the smoke coming from the device. In the trailer and stuff, they might see like the trail or something. I want to say something, and then I'll let you jump into this too. We need to stop thinking once again like magicians. When you watch a trailer for a magic product that says Smart Smoke Watch, you know exactly what you're looking for, right? There's no secret. And so I think that when you start to think that way as a magician and you look at this trailer and you go, well, that's what it's telling me, so I'm looking right where it is, that's a shame that we look at it and go, oh, well, I can see it. Well, of course you can, because we're telling you what it is. And so I think, once again, turn that magician switch off, because no normal person's going to think that someone has put together this James Bond-like device inside of a freaking watch. And I'll let you jump in there, too, if you want to say something about it. But those are my thoughts, So.
Yes, of course, yes. The thing is that producing smoke is just a magical moment. And if you use rolled-up sleeves, okay, people might say the smoke came out from your sleeve. because you have long sleeves. There is no other way where the smoke comes from. But if you wear a watch that almost every people in the world use every single day, they will not suspect a thing. Okay, so people really don't understand where the smoke comes from. I have done this thousands of times. I do it in every single gig that I have, and I never have even one person saying that the smoke came out from the watch. So I think that we must stop really thinking like magicians. I think you made a very good point in there.
Okay.
So yes, that's the truth. Nobody will think that it came from the watch.
Totally on the same page, man. So I appreciate you sharing your thoughts with that. Cool.
My pleasure.
Another question here comes in. This one comes in from YouTube. Afonso asks, can you ask João when he's going to be in a magic convention in Portugal? Will you be at any conventions in Portugal by any chance?
Yes, in Portugal there are several magic conventions, one of which is the Magic Valongo, that's the name, which is in September. But what happens is that I really am very busy in September, so I don't have time to go to that convention, basically. But I've been in France, I've been in Belgium. I will go to Blackpool next year, okay, and to Magic Live. So those two conventions are the ones at least that I'm going to go, at least. Yes.
All right, cool, man. Let's see here in Blackpool. Man, that's a fun one. That's a good one.
Yes, I love it.
Thomas Legg asking over on YouTube. He's asking, we're going back to Vision Box. He wants to know about the durability. Of course, it is a clear box. People think maybe it's something if I drop, I'm going to have to be careful. It's going to break. Can you give us any insight when it comes to the durability of the box itself?
Yes, actually, every single product that we make, either is the Vision Box or the watch or any other products that I sell, we always do endurance tests and durability tests, okay? So we actually managed to release the Vision Box from a normal eye, like into concrete, and the box doesn't break. Okay, it doesn't break at all. So it's very durable. Anyway, if anyone has ever any kind of problem with either Vision Box or any of my products, I really am proud to say that I really have a good customer service. So I really take care of every single customer. They spend their hard-earned money in my company. So if they ever have any problems, just drop me a mail and I'll fix it for you. It's not a problem.
Awesome. That's great. And I'm not surprised. I mean, you're a great guy. So, I mean, that's just a testament to what you do and you stand behind your product. So that's really cool.
Yes, of course.
Awesome. Here's another question. I know the answer to this, but Lazarus Benson's asking, can the Vision Box be used with other items? So instead of just using a folded up playing card, can you use other items to have switched in the box in a very invisible way?
No, it must be either playing cards or billiards or any kind that is paper related with that shape, that rectangular shape. So you cannot switch a coin, you cannot do anything else. It's intended for using with some kind of paper, a billiard, a playing card. So that's it. Okay,
no, that's cool though. I think that's a good thing because some people think it could just be the card, but that's important. That billets you can switch. And you can also switch, like you said, bills, money.
Yes.
Which is
and it's very clean. It's very clean. You don't do a shuttle pass with Vision Box. So it's really clean. It's like real magic. It should be like.
No, it looks really good. Jason, my buddy Jason Weatherington says that box looks so good. I have to agree. I mean, the switch, you can't tell it's a freaking switch. It's so nasty, man. Should have called it the nasty box because it's freaking nasty. This comes in from James Paul. I love my Link Smoke Watch. Is there a difference? Okay, this is a good question. Is there a difference with the first Smoke Watch with the new Smart Smoke Watch aside from the looks? Are there any differences when it comes to the actual logistics with the watch itself?
Yes, so in the first version, the battery was inside of the shell, of the watch shell over here. With the smartwatch version, we managed to make the battery, even though totally invisible, it's totally invisible, in the wristband, okay, because it's made of silicone, okay? So basically, besides the battery being on the over here, the smoke is more because every single watch, that small tube that is over here that expels the smoke, is made by hand with my team here in Portugal. So we managed actually to make the smoke look thicker in this second version. Okay, that's basically about it. And a lot of people also ask me, let me tell you, look, do you buy a watch and remove the things and then you apply the electronics? No, every single watch, either the first version or this smartwatch version, is made with molds from scratch. Okay, even the wristband, it's made of silicone. Everything is made really from scratch, specifically designed to produce smoke. It's very important.
All right, cool, man. All right, well, thank you. Another question comes in. This one's on Facebook. Cody Davis asked, can you use the Vision Box as a color change? I know it's used as a switch, but like you had a red playing card, could you pull it out and change it to blue? Or vice versa, could you also use it as a bill change? So let's say you have like a $1 bill folded up, and when you take it out, it changes to like a 20 or something. Could you use it as a color change as well?
Absolutely, yes. Actually, in the trailer, you'll see a transformation from a red card to a blue card. If you go back to the trailer, you will see that transformation happen. And the switch is really invisible. That really looks like the card is changing color, which is very nice. Yes, so you can.
Good stuff. All right, thank you, sir. This one is a little more magic kind of thinking and a little bit of philosophy, and it comes from my buddy Simon Black, I don't know if you've seen his magic, but you need to check him out, dude. He's amazing. This young guy from Chicago, he asked, what's your policy on lying to spectators? Do you do real magic? Is it a skill, a trick? Just curious about your views on ethics in the performance of magic. So in general, this is a good way for me to get to know you a little bit more too. What do you think about that when it comes to how you're presenting your magic to people?
So what's the thing? Look, can you repeat? I didn't understood very well the question. Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, as magicians, we're lying to people about things that are happening that we're not really doing, and he's basically asking that: Are you telling people when you perform that you're doing real magic? Are you telling them it's a skill or a trick, or I guess getting to know you a little bit better?
Yes, sure.
What is your angle on that? Yeah.
Yes, normally I perform as an entertainer per se, I'm a magician first of all, and then an entertainer. So I don't say that what I do is real magic, okay? But it's very important that when you perform, in that moment, what you do really looks like real magic for the spectators. So they know that you are not a wizard, they know that there is a trick involved. But you must make the magical atmosphere, that what the well-known Arturo Dascanio speaks in his books, you must make that magical atmosphere the best as you can. So even though you don't present yourself as a real magician with magical powers, your magic should seem like you really have those powers, even though in that small period where the audience is watching you.
All right, good stuff. Another bit of love for you. This one comes from Andre Milau. João Miranda, great magician. Love your job. Congrats from Portugal. So good stuff.
Thank you very much, Andre. Thank you.
Let's see. We had another thing over here on YouTube. Alfonso, you're welcome. He says he missed you at the convention. Let's see. This is a good question from Riki over on YouTube. This is a very generic question, but I like it because it helps us get to know you a little bit better too. Hey, you're cool. What's your guys' favorite magic trick? Do you have a favorite magic trick, João, that you've always loved, whether it's yours or just one that you grew up performing? That's a big question, but do you have that one thing that you just love when it comes to performing magic? Like a good trick?
Yes, a trick. You are talking about a trick. Yes, a thing that I love. Yes.
Yeah. One trick that you really like more than any other trick.
Yes, I like one trick that actually Luis Matos used at least to perform his live shows that I really love. It's a creation of Don Wayne. It's not a very well-known trick, but it's called the floating microphone. Okay, I don't know if you look that one. It's real nice. I think that if you go on YouTube and search João Miranda floating microphone or something like that, you might find it. I think there's a video of me performing it. That's one of the illusions that I really like. I perform it for several years now, where you make a microphone float and really remove your hands. And it floats by itself. It's a piece that I always do in my stage shows, and a trick that I particularly like.
Love it. That's a good one. And I'm definitely very familiar with that. It's a great piece.
Yes, great illusion, yes.
Simon Black says, you said Ascanio, so I know you're the real deal. Great answer, man. So he liked your answer about how you're performing magic, so just wanted to make sure that you knew that.
Thank you, Simon.
This is another question that came in over on YouTube, and this is something I'd like to get your thoughts on because Once again, I think we're thinking like a magician. This one comes from Mind of Yano, and he says, I have a quick question about product demos that are public for everyone to view. Wouldn't it be better to have the secrets kept in a better manner? Is there another way? So basically, in the demo for the Smart Smoke Watch, we're saying and showing that this is what the device is and that you're producing smoke from a watch.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's a weird place for us as magicians because a lot of people think that it's bad to be deceived on what you're getting or what you're buying. And then there's other people that think we're giving too much. So with your product in particular, what are your thoughts on that? Because I know where I stand, but I'd love to know where you stand with that.
Yes, the thing is that when we perform magic, people forget that you are wearing something that could produce smoke. If you know how to do your stuff, people really forget because they are focused on the magical moment and on the magical atmosphere, you know. So I think that very, very, very few people would go online how to produce smoke. I know, but some people could do it. But I think magic is not about props. It's about the moment that you create with that prop. So I think that is a very, very important. When you go to the cinema, for example, you know that the actors are not real. Yes, you know that when they fall, when they are killed, when there is blood, you know that's not real. But you abstract totally of that, okay? So I think that happens the same with magic. So I think it's not a really good, bad thing to show the gimmick to magicians, because I think that also when you buy something which is not very cheap, I think that you should know exactly what you are receiving. That's why I give more information on all of my videos.
All right, man. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think you said something very wise in there, and that is that if people are focusing on the props that we're using, then we're doing something wrong. You know,
Correct.
it should be about the performance. And when we're doing magic, there shouldn't be like these things that they're just pinpointing. It should be like the experience that they're remembering, not the specific thing like, oh, well, he used this cup at one point. And then it's
Correct.
You know,
Yes.
like that's something I think.
Yes.
You know, as magicians,
Yes, I
again, we think about too many details sometimes, and I think it's not bad that we're giving spectators credit, but at the same time, we need to remember that they don't have the information that we do, and sometimes that's hard to remember. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yes, of course. Yes.
cool. Let's see here. Back over on YouTube, we have so many people that are just popping in here. I
Sure.
love this. Let's see. How long does it take you to come up with the methods for your tricks? That's a good question from Cody the Penguin over on YouTube, because we can always have the ideas, but it could take a really long time to come up with the actual way to make it happen and how to make it work. So can you shed any light for you on what the
Yes.
process is like for that? Yeah.
Yes, Vision Box I created basically in 10 days.
Wow.
Okay. Yes, basically because first of all I'm a workaholic. Yes, and I'm totally obsessed with magic. Once I have an idea, I don't sleep until I see it 100% made and well made. So perhaps I work a lot. I also have a team of 4 people that work with me, which also help me a lot. So I think that first of all, if you really like your things, I think if you work fast. Because I really like them, I think the things will come up very fast, very naturally. Yes.
All right.
So.
All right. Very good. I had a couple other little things here. We talked about the Vision Box advantages. I know we talked about the fact that you can put the piece inside of it from the beginning. That is a huge advantage. Were there any other specific advantage about the Vision Box that you wanted to note here that I might have missed?
Yes, there are several. First of all, it's not very important, but the box is 100% examinable right after you perform the switch. Okay, so people don't want to look at the box. I always perform the trick. People don't look at the box, but if they really want, or if you do anything wrong, any kind of movement, they really can examine the box 100%. They won't find a thing. But the most important advantage of Vision Box over other boxes is the fact that it does allow you to perform a natural move. So, if you have a box with something important inside, why are you doing a shuttle pass? If it's something important that cannot be touched, that is inside of a box, why do normally magicians do this kind of movement? It's not natural. That was my idea. So, what I did was I placed the box, okay, in my table with the folded card inside, and I thought to myself, If I want to remove that card, what do I do? Yes. So what I did was I take the box here and I remove the card like this. So that is what started this whole process. I think that this general rule of thumb should be applied to all the magic that we perform. Okay. So you must sit, relax, and think, what? If a spectator has a card inside of a box, how will that spectator remove a card? Perhaps they will not do this kind of movement. They have the box and they remove it with 2 fingers. And that's what started the whole process, either with Vision Box and with all of my other creations.
All right. Awesome. Good stuff, man. Thanks for answering that. Appreciate it.
Yes, my pleasure.
Daniel Ricks, my buddy Daniel, by the way, how you doing out there? Good to see you. He asked, João, do you have anything in the works right now for future releases? I mean, I know the answer to this, but since he's asking here, let's get some inside info from the man himself. What are you up to over there, my friend? What are you up to?
Yes, I have so many things to release with the Magic community. Really, a lot of things. But when I release something, people want it, so it takes a lot of time to make them and to ship them all over the world. So it takes a little bit of time from illusion to illusion. But I have a lot. I will release, for example, do you know Cardiographic, of course, of Martin Lewis? Yes?
Yeah.
I will be releasing a stage electronic version of Cardiographic with Martin Lewis himself.
Wow!
So it's really a really big pad. I really always love Cardiographic. I'll also release Bill to Lemon version. Okay. That I cannot really talk too much right now, but I think it's a Magician folder. It's really nice. Yes, really nice. And also Dreampad, which will be my next release, which is really cool. A confabulation routine.
Yeah, I had a chance to see that earlier today, and that goes on pre-sale, I believe, next Friday. So you guys, that'd be the quickest thing you can check out from João Miranda himself. Next Friday, you'll see the trailer right here on the Murphy's YouTube channel and Facebook page, so keep an eye out for that. Dreampad. Yeah, very cool.
Yes.
We have a friend here on Facebook, Artur Santos. Vision Box is a real worker. I use it in all my shows, period. I'm very happy with it. That's good news, man. I can see why.
Thank you, Artur.
Here's another one, actually about Dreampad. Miguel Brito asks, is the new Dreampad a smaller version with the same purpose of the Link's prediction? Is this similar, different? He's trying to link Dreampad and Link's prediction. I think they're different, but I'll let you jump in there. So.
Yes, they're totally different. Link's prediction it's an electronic product that allows you to perform 4-stage, probably the cleanest confabulation routine, because there is an envelope hanging. The magician does not touch anything, removes the envelope, and the prediction is all 100% correct. But with Dreampad, there are no electronics, okay? Even though the principle used in Dreampad is a little bit old, the way that I introduced it to a confabulation routine for close-up is totally different, because with Dreampad, you don't do double writing, so that's the great thing about it. With other confabulation routines, you must write something on a notepad, and then while people are talking, you write it down again, and then you fold the paper, and then you make the switch. With Dreampad, it's everything really clean.
Sweet. All right. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Another question here on our YouTube channel. This one comes from my buddy Marton. How long does it take to reset with Vision Box? So to reset it and to be able to do it again for another table or another group, what's the reset time on that?
2 seconds.
That took about as long.
That's it.
So as long as it took you to answer that question.
Yes.
It's about
really 2 seconds. Yes, I'm not kidding. It's really 2 seconds. Not 3, not 1. 2 seconds.
Magic Jack asks, how many dollars is it? What is that retail for? I don't have it in front of me. The Vision Box. What is that retail for?
$75, I believe.
75. Yeah, that sounds about right. Cool. All
yes.
Right. Let's see here. You know what? Since we're talking about the advantages of the Vision Box, I want to make sure that we get to the advantages of the Smart Smoke Watch too, because I know that one of the huge advantages is that you don't have these tubes running up and down your shirt, and you don't have any stuff to worry about, and it's something you just literally wear. Any other advantages that you would like to make known that people might have missed? Because I know with the Vision Box, one thing that a lot of people probably didn't know before you mentioned it was that it's examinable, which I love.
Yes, 100%.
So are there any light bulb moments like that with the Smart Smoke Watch when it comes to things that are advantages over existing smoke devices or
Yes,
just
yes,
things like
yes,
that?
yes. A lot, a lot. First of all, you don't need to place any kind of remote in your pocket to activate the smoke. Everything is self-contained, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And also, you don't do this kind of movements of, of chicken wings, like,
Yeah.
let's produce smoke. No, no, no. Because I don't know if people know this, but the watch vibrates, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There is a very, very small button that you touch, and the watch vibrates. So you know when you have touched the button, and it also vibrates when the smoke comes out. And the user can program in the watch the delay. So, for example, you want to make a coin disappear, okay? You simply press the button by either pushing it against your chest or by pressing with your thumb. And then, let's say 5 seconds later, the watch vibrates again, and then the smoke starts to come out. So you are really with your hands really in the open, and you don't need to go something like this. It's very magical. But the great thing is that you are comfortable with it. Without all of that cables, you are really, really comfortable when performing. I think it's very important also.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool, man. Good stuff. Miguel says, in regards to his question about the DreamPad and the smaller version, thank you. Lynx is really great. I've used it and it's awesome. I'm thinking about buying the DreamPad. Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen the trailer now for the DreamPad. I think it's a fantastic thing that people will be very excited about. If they like the idea of what you could do, like with the Vision Box, when they start seeing things like this with confabulation, which is a very popular thing. And we get asked a lot from people about, can you recommend any good minimalism stuff? I think when you guys see this, especially this time of year when a lot of people are out doing gigs and stuff, and if you can get your hands on this now, you're going to love it. And yeah, can you give us any insight into some of the advantages with the DreamPad? Can you give us a little, inside info about that too? Because I know a lot of people are interested about your new stuff too. So
Yes, yes, yes. So people that don't know what the confabulation effect is, you have a box and you have a paper inside, a white paper inside with some text, and you leave it on the table, okay? Then you grab a post-it note. People say, for example, where they would like to travel to, and you write there, Portugal. How they would like to go, they'll say by airplane, and the cost of the journey will be €1,000, okay? So basically, this information will appear inside of that small paper, your prediction, okay? And with previous versions and methods that are on the market and on books and DVDs, they all have a common principle, which is the magician has a notepad in his hand, and when he writes the information, first of all, they cannot show it to the audience, so they must be really holding the pad really close so people cannot see right into the pad. And when they write it 2 times. They write it on the pad and they write it on the paper that will later be switched. Okay? So for that to occur, they really must hold the pad like this. They cannot show to the audience. And I think that the audience will think that there's something fishy in there. With DreamPad, I got rid of all those problems. Okay? So you really show the pad. You can really write it down. You can clearly remove the page really clean. You give it to the audience, and then in 1 second you have the paper ready to be switched. Okay, so it's really, really amazing. I always do it in every gig. I think I'm really proud of that because I really love the confabulation type of routine for stage, and I always wanted to do the same on close-up, and I finally made it. I'm really proud of this one.
that's awesome, man. Yeah, and you know what? The more I hear you talk about this stuff, the more excited I get to hear when you're going to come out with stuff, because it's obvious that you're creating out of necessity. You're creating out of a performer's mindset, which means that you know that this is stuff that you yourself will want to use, which in return means that the people that are buying it, they will be able to use it and they will have a lot of fun using it too. And I think that's important to know. Like when you see João Miranda's name, you know you're going to get quality magic that is stuff that you're going to actually be using out in the performance world, because there's a lot of stuff and there's a lot of different magic out there. Some you'll use, some you won't. But it's good to know when these different people pop up. Like I kind of think about you in the same world I'd put like a Richard Sanders. When you hear Richard Sanders' name, you know it's going to be like good magic. You know what I mean?
Yes, of course. Yes, I love his magic. Yes, thank you very much for the compliment. Thank you.
So I would definitely think that you're looking at a man now that when you see his name attached to a piece of magic, you know it's going to be good. So very excited to see what else you've got down the pipipeline.
Thanks, Luke.
Here's a good question from Alec over on YouTube, and I want to tell my YouTube friends, I just put a post up for our Facebook friends. We'll be wrapping this up in a few minutes, so if you want to get any of those last questions in for João right now, please do. I don't want to miss anybody out there, so get those questions in now. And if you guys have questions later on Facebook, we'll try to go in and answer them as well in text. Alec asked, though, sorry if it's been asked, does the smoke come out of the watch above the wristband or underneath the wrist? Above the wrist or band or underneath the wrist, I'm sorry. So, yes.
Yes, it's underneath. It's really from here, okay? Right into the center of your palm.
Okay, very cool. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Hello to Gerald Baldwin. How are we doing out there? Gerald Baldwin. How are we doing out there, buddy? Let's see. How are we doing out there? Philip Marton. Yes, we got that question asked. There was another question from Marton. I liked that he asked, when it comes to the way that you create, do you create with the effect first, or are you the type of guy that creates a method and then you figure out what can I do with this method? I like that question. That was from Marton.
Well, normally I think it's a great question. It's not very, very easy to answer that. But normally I don't have actually a formula. You know, actually I could be just shopping around with my girlfriend and an idea from nowhere pops out in my mind. I could be like buying things to house and I have an idea there. So I don't actually have a methodology. I could come up with a method first or the effect first. It really depends. Yes.
Okay. Cool, man. Yeah. All right. We have a little more love from you. This is from Andre Lopez. He says he recommends all of your products. They're really, really great. So that's really cool, man, that you have
thank you.
a lot of people on here
Thanks,
that are big fans of your work. It's either you have a lot of friends or you have a lot of different accounts. I'm kidding.
I don't, I promise.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we already asked this. We have another friend over on YouTube saying that you are actually their favorite magician. So that's pretty awesome. That's good.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's from my buddy Lakeaton Edwards. And Lakeaton, I know I'm messing up your name again, but I want to make sure I gave the shout out there. So Mr. Edwards, we'll just leave it like that. Thanks for the love for Mr. João. All right, cool.
Thank you.
Cool. Let's see here. I want to make sure I don't miss any questions. I'm just looking over here back on Facebook. Facebook friends, if I did miss any of your questions. Here's a question from Eduardo Batista. Do you think that you will continue your career as a magician or be more focused on your company and creating new magic tricks for other magicians to use? That's a really good question. That comes once again from Eduardo Batista.
Thank you, Eduardo. Actually, I love performing magic. I really love performing because it's my passion. It's why I was born to do, basically. But I also love to create products, and I will tell you why. Since I really love magic, I really enjoy to see other magicians performing the type of magic that I think should be performable. So I'm really passionate about creating new magic, new methods, and see magicians from all over the world performing them. So I'll never give up performing magic. I'll never stop curating new magic for magicians. So I'll keep up with both things.
All right, sounds good to me. All right, we definitely don't want to lose you as a magic creator. I can tell you that much.
Thanks.
Awesome. All right, man. I think that wraps up pretty much all the questions that are here now in real time. I tried to get through the list. I might have missed a couple here and there, but we had a lot of them coming in. Were there any last things that you wanted to say about either one of the products that I might have missed here? Because I know we've gone in a lot of different directions with this stuff, but I want to make sure that there's nothing that you feel like you want people to know, whether it's about your smart smoke watch or about the Vision Box or any of the upcoming stuff, or just you in general. Is there anything that you think that you want to get out there, or you think we covered pretty much everything today?
Yes, I think we did. Thank you very much for all the questions. I think all the most important questions were made. So I think that's it. Yes, you can find my website, of course, at joaomiranda.com. You can find all of my products in there, all the information. But I think that's it. Don't you think? Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, if you're good, I'm good. I wanted to make sure that you're happy with what happened here and the experience and all the questions.
Yes,
and
of course.
One last look here. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap this up. So I want to say thank you for your time, Mr. Miranda.
Thank you, Luke.
I know that there's one thing that is very valuable in this life, and it is time. And I appreciate yours very much. And I'm sure the rest of the guys appreciate it as well, both on our Facebook page and YouTube channel and over on Twitter too. So thank you, sir. And,
no, my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me. It was really nice to answer all those questions. Thank you very much, really.
Yeah, I look forward to doing this again. You know, you have more stuff coming out, so we should do this again when you have more things that we
Yes, of course.
are releasing with you. So excited for that. All right, man. Well, I am going to wrap this up, guys. Thank you for tuning in live with me this week with my special guest, Mr. João Miranda. And I had a lot of fun getting your questions in. We're going to be doing more and more of these live Q&As with different creators, different magicians all over the world. So this is one of the first experiences of many to come. And if you're looking for our next live hangout where I hang out with you and we chat magic and I teach you live magic, we'll have our next live hangout Wednesday of next week at noon Pacific time. And that is going to be a lot of fun. I believe that would be the 9th of November. Let me just look at my calendar real quick and I will confirm that. Yes, next Wednesday. So November 9th, noon Pacific time, I will be live with you again for our next live magic hangout. And that's going to be a lot of fun. So send those video clips my way of you guys performing the magic that you've been working on, and I can feature them on the show. All right? My name is Luke Dancy. I've been joined today by the very special guest, Mr. João Miranda. I can't wait to be back next week live with you. But in the meantime, don't be a stranger. You have those magic questions, send them our way. All right, guys. I will catch you on the flip side. Have fun with your magic. Get out there. And once again, don't be a stranger. See ya.